I think it's time I finally come clean about something that not many people would expect of me. I've only mentioned this like twice on stream ever, and both times the chat has erupted into just pure shock and awe, chaos and pandemonium and confusion, chatters thinking that they were experiencing psychosis because it was just that unusual. It was a more shocking revelation than when Darth Vader revealed to Luke Skywalker that he was his father. If you today found out that you were adopted, it would only be the second most surprising thing you'll learn today after this. So, it has to do with a little guilty pleasure of mine. It's nothing like degenerate or weird. It's not like I'm dipping my balls in candle wax and looking at fucking Shrek Rule 34 or whatever. But it is still equally as embarrassing. My guilty pleasure is watching news bloopers. It makes me sound like a fucking octogenarian. Like, actually just grandpa shit. I love watching news bloopers. I can't get enough of that shit. It always just gives me a hearty giggle. That shit has me in stitches. Like, it splits my fucking sides. And I don't understand why. There's something in just a goofy news fumble that tickles my DNA to the very core. And I can't help but let out some hearty belly laughs like Santa Claus. Let me just show you a couple of my favorites real quick, and maybe I'll convert you to the glory of news bloopers.
And how about this? More than 50 marathons in 1 year. The marathon goddess is going to be here in the studio with us to tell us more about the motivation behind her goal. Jimmy.
Hi, guys. I just met her. Yeah, fantastic. She has some nice titties. All right, tennis shoes. Let's check in with weather. We'll have a forecast for you coming up that you will not believe.
Hey, Jim, is that forecast 100% chance of huge honkers? A fucking full-blown milk shower? I fucking love it, man. Dude just gets lost in the sauce. He's like, hey, I just met her. Hey, you wouldn't believe those fucking jugs, let me tell you what. Now, in his defense, he did come out and say he said tinnies, as in tennis shoes, and he does say it twice more in the broadcast, like fully enunciating the tennis shoes as opposed to tinnies, which I've never heard in my life. But it really does sound like he just says some nice titties. And honestly, I wish he doubled down and been like, yeah, you know what? I did meet her, and those fucking boobies are insano style.
Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida. Dana is off tonight. He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
Jesus Christ, he just wanted to take the day off and they assassinated him for it. This has to be the most intense opening to anything ever. Just imagine flipping through the channels. Oh, Eyewitness 5 is coming on. Good evening. Hey, Dana fans. Dana enthusiasts. He's not here because he was murdered and set on fire while celebrating his birthday. Like, holy shit, it doesn't get more intense than that. That is just coming in hot. That is raw and no rubber. But don't worry, Dana fans. He turned out to be okay. Because what actually happened is this guy just doesn't understand grammar. He was doing a full-blown speed run of the news that night where he just had a giant sentence run on. So he was saying his colleague took the day off and then immediately jumped into the story that he was covering, which was unfortunately about a man who was murdered and set on fire while celebrating his birthday. But because of the way he presented it, it made it sound like he was saying his colleague took the day off, then got murdered, then set on fire while celebrating their birthday. So causing a panic to anyone that happened to have been a regular viewer of the show. It's like, oh, wow.
Now this just in, police officers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania were asking people to be on the lookout for a man who robbed a store. And I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description. Okay. This is the guy they wanted people in Pennsylvania to be out on the lookout for.
Yeah, so all of Pennsylvania was on the lookout for a fucking Charlie Brown character there. Now, this is a real thing. At first when I watched this, I thought it was satire. I still laughed, but I thought it's just fake. It's a good goof. This was real. So what happened is there was an eyewitness that saw the man and decided to quickly sketch him out as fast as she could, and the police used that amateur sketch on the television program here, the news, to broadcast it and see if anyone recognized it based off of this like third grade crayon interpretation of a human being. And the lady who did it has a really good attitude about it, and it really did help because they caught the guy.
Stands about 5 feet 4 inches tall. There it is. Get a good look for yourself. Oh, and now I'm getting word that police actually caught this guy, thanks to the sketch, no doubt. So here's a picture of the real guy next to the sketch that led to his arrest.
Where's the pointy chin?
It's uncanny, Lisa. The guy on the left.
I had to do a double take. I wasn't sure which one was the actual criminal and which one was the sketch. They did a great job here capturing it, and I do agree the news anchor goes on to say that the sketch artist deserves a raise. I think so too. That's a whole brand new profession right there that she's just unlocked. Just another great news blooper. There's so many more I could show, but I just really fucking love news bloopers. It is my guilty pleasure. It's not something like I'm super proud to talk about, because that is like the most old person hobby ever, just watching news bloopers, but I love that shit. And I figured I'd make a whole video just coming out and saying it, right? You know, I'm not ashamed of it anymore, right? I'll own it. I fucking love news bloopers. So yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest, and that's about it. See ya.